Hello, welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. Wisdom podcast. Close enough. Podcast late night edition. Starring me, my compatriot Jackson,
That's
and
me.
my on again, off again rival Eli himself. Or E. as we call him.
He's commonly known as E in
Like,
these parts.
he's
Yeah.
commonly known as E in this part, but you know what? Tonight
So,
he is known as
If we
my on
sound a
again, off
little,
again rival Eli.
if we sound a little bit dead this episode, it's because we are.
Like I
It
said,
is.
late night edition.
Yeah,
It is very late.
Very late.
It's later for Eli than
Very
it is
late
for
for
anyone
Nerd
else. Harmon boy has a lot of energy because he's with his girlfriend, and if he looks tired, that's a sign of weakness, and she'll dump him. So Chandler's putting on a really brave front right now.
Mhm.
In fact,
He tagged my soul.
she's kind of like a honorary guest, but she's not participating at all. She's playing Evil Within in the background.
Yeah. The commentary.
Speaking of evil, one thing we wanted to talk about was you two have a very strong rivalry going on right now.
It is. It's
Did
like
we?
a love relationship.
I
I love Eli, but he hates me.
didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't either until I just kind of woke up one morning. I was like, Eli, I mean, click sometimes, but then other times I don't. Yes.
Wait, where did that come from?
Is that the
Oh,
end?
no.
That's the end of it.
I mean,
That's
that's
the end of it.
We don't always click. Probably.
So I guess it wasn't really much of a rivalry.
Can I
no. I wouldn't consider it a
Wait, no.
rivalry.
Oh, it's different.
Although you
Right.
guys, I feel like you two have a tendency to try and one-up each other.
Yeah.
Do we?
Kill him. Just shut
A
him.
little
Yeah, we
bit.
always going up each other. Sometimes.
I mean, like, I don't know. And Chandler's muted. I mean, I guess not one-up each other, but like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something going on between you guys.
I wouldn't say there's anything going on per se. It's just a friendly little rivalry.
The door?
Yes, that door. It's just like sometimes we like each other. Sometimes that's just like
I see. What are
it
some
doesn't mean
things?
that anything's wrong.
What are some things you would say you agree on?
I think they have very similar video game tastes.
Yeah, like strategy games. Like,
Strategy
Games
games,
with-
tactical games.
yeah, tactical games, games with good dialogue, that kind of thing.
We also both love life and not being dead.
Living is pretty good. Yeah,
Living do be cool sometimes.
yeah.
Here we were.
When do you think is the
The-
least fun time to be alive?
You about to get up and
Anytime we have to publicly speak,
can I?
Yeah, public speaking is the worst, but apparently the worst pain that a human being can be in is when their femur is being broken in half.
that is true.
That might
if
not
your femur's
be.
breaking, you may just want to die.
Scientifically
always
speaking, it is the femur breaker.
It's
Yeah.
the femur. That's Eli's title.
Oh man, if I could have the femur
Femur
breaker
breaker.
job,
Title. Would you do it?
I mean, if they deserved it, yeah.
Why don't you describe
Would you
the
like me?
femur breaker to the audience? Because I feel like there's some people that might not get that.
All right, so here's the femur breaker in a nutshell. You got this table that the person lays down on. Then you got this machine that breaks your femur.
And then you kiss while breaking femurs. Iconically. No.
That was
I
a
wouldn't say
perfect
that
distraction.
you wouldn't usually kiss the femur breaker, but
I'd kiss the femur breaker.
No, you kiss the femur breakee.
A kiss of death, perhaps.
casually, me just casually having romantic feelings with a
You reconcile
femur
it.
breaking machine.
No, it's not romantic feelings. It's a power move.
Mm.
Hiding.
But what if it is romantic?
Have you seen the video? There's one video that comes to mind when I think of power moves now, because it is the ultimate power move. So, it's this video. There's a biker, right? Like someone on a motorcycle, and this truck pulls up in front of him and almost hits him. And the guy in the truck gets out. You know, he's mad. He's swearing. He's like pushing the guy on the bike, and the guy on the bike is like, "All right, you want to kiss? You want to make out right here?" And the guy just got
I
back in
wasn't
his
saying-
truck and left. Oh, I know. I've been doing it
No.
forever now. It's such a power move.
How many times have you actually had to say that to someone, Jackson?
Sadly, not that many. I've said it a couple times, and then one time I said it, and it was a mistake.
Who'd you say it to?
I'd rather not say. You know who it is, though.
Oh no.
Is it a girl?
Certain shorty that I, that was kind of mean. They were
Shorty?
short, though. Yeah. You know who it is. I showed you my, unfortunate text history
Oh,
with
yeah.
said person.
One, yeah.
Well, it's because it was during the time I was hanging out with the Kentucky gang a lot more. Shout out to those guys. And I was just so used to, like, if I needed a power move, I would just threaten to kiss them as a joke. And then I instinctively said that, and then they didn't respond, which was honestly worse than getting a response of any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always bad. Okay, though.
It could be, yeah, it could be worse.
When I
Thank you,
accidentally use
Jackson has
how
Go
did
to
that
bar,
move?
rolls a
unintentional
nat
riz.
20 on
Can we talk about
anything.
that for a second, Jackson?
Talk
Your
about what?
unintentional riz in life.
I don't
Your
mean to.
unintentional riz.
Dude, I've been going downhill. I was actually hot like 3 years ago.
You are still hot. Didn't
Nah,
say,
dude, I look like a rat of a person. Like if you know, like
You're my
Animorphs,
rat. Yeah.
like I'm like one stage down of human towards rat.
Oh, nice.
I'm
That's
like
okay.
the young, I'm
That's
like
all
the
I need.
young drifter, bro.
You are the drifter.
I'm not the drifter. If I were the drifter, I would say all right, and throw people at monsters.
And also be obsessed with
That is true.
customized
Fire.
coins.
Can we talk about Drifter, by the way? He's been in the season and he has some sussy lines.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to send you guys some of them because they're low-key hilarious. He's just been real flirty with
Read them on
Sloan.
stream right now to all the viewers.
I don't have them up right now. I'd have to go find them.
Okay, never mind.
But they're hilarious.
Probably for another time then.
Yeah, for another time. Well, I'll send
Perhaps
them.
next stream.
Well, I'll just send them here. If you want to go hear them and you're listening to this, go look them up.
Yes. Jackson actually has a man crush on the drifter.
I
Me and
do
him have
not.
talked about it before.
No, it's Saint 14.
It's an
Don't
unhealthy
get it
crush.
wrong.
It's a 14. It's that Russian accent.
Dude, all the dialogue this season has been so good.
I actually haven't played Destiny too much at all this season.
Yeah, I know.
It's nothing against this season. It's just I've been busy with camp. It's funny because I'm not even going to camp.
And
Let's
playing
go.
other games.
And I'm playing other games.
And
Hey
playing
man,
Ace Attorney.
Phoenix Wright just built it. Hey, it's such a good game though.
That's up for debate.
I hate the games.
What game do you think got a little too much hype?
Scroll Online.
What?
That new Harry
Elder Scrolls
Potter
Online.
game.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
in
there-
agreement. No, Legacy got way too much hype. Or
I
hot
actually
take?
really liked it. It's still
Chandler-
a very good game.
Chandler, we talked about this last night. Chandler has to stop and think for a good 10 minutes on games he doesn't like.
Not true. I put together a little bit of a list.
Yeah,
Briefly.
you put two together
after I
because
first listened. No, actually, I found more mentally.
no, you said Elder Scrolls Online and then
Any JRPG.
Fallout. What was it? 76.
I was refused to play any JRPG.
Okay.
Any JRPG.
Okay,
Just
you gotta
really
try.
just not-
You gotta try a
Yeah.
Final Fantasy game.
I do. There's just too many, and it stresses me out. If the game has more than
Just
three
choose
sequels,
one of the earlier ones. One of the earlier
Bro,
ones,
those are
and
like
you'll be fine.
JRPGs because there's too many of them.
okay.
Why did I not see that right? Oh,
Jackson, did you know that in canonical sense, JRPGs are too convoluted?
They're really not.
Oh, they are. No, they
They
are.
really are.
I'm
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
No,
They
I'm
are.
sorry, Jackson. He's right on this one. The plot
Yeah,
of
right,
every
come on.
single
Oh,
JRPG
the plot.
is
Okay.
is the most convoluted thing ever.
That's fair. I thought he was talking about like specking. I didn't think he was talking about the plot. Okay, no. The plot I will agree with. Most JRPGs has a very not put together plot.
Well, no, like that's the difference between Final Fantasy and like normal JRPGs is that the difference is Final Fantasy's plot is put together doesn't mean that it's not convoluted.
There's a good question, Jackson. What is the most romantic color?
The most romantic color?
When you think romance, what color do you think? This is a test.
I don't know.
Hope says green.
That's a joke.
It was a joke.
Green, my favorite color.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
very
know, dude.
one of those things.
Yeah.
I guess red.
Yeah.
But red is such a.
That's what I
such
was just thinking.
Red is one of those weird
Red
colors that like
is a
works for
bad
a lot of
color.
things.
Why is nothing happening to me?
It does. It also is the color of anger and death. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I
Too
see
much
death
red
as,
is always bad.
I see death as like black.
Black.
But like yeah. But like rage is good for red.
Yeah.
It's
think
a certain
just-
shade of red though. You know, like there's a you have like death metal album red, which I don't associate with love, you know, but then you have like the you know, like the stereotype lipstick color.
Yeah.
Oh no, somebody come out of that door.
I got my red dress.
I guess it depends on how much red is another thing.
Yeah. That's valid. Oh,
What about
no.
you, Eli? What do you think is the most
Yeah,
romantic color?
I'd say like a red or like a hot pink kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although I do maybe like a neon sort of pink, you know.
What's the worst color?
Don't tap.
Why is
Dude,
this light on
what?
fire?
What's your least favorite color?
What is my least favorite color?
Ew. Whoa, what?
I
Like
don't
you would,
remember.
if your room was painted this color, you
If
would
you had the
move out.
Color,
So like I don't know
still
what
yellow.
the specific name for it is, but it's like when you have this sort of like yellowish green, but it's more like green,
Like lime,
but it's also like like lime, but like a really dull
like
lime.
neon.
No, like a dull
Oh.
lime.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's just that kind of color is just gross to me. I don't
That's
know.
fair. Do you know something with that color?
Mentally depressed.
Do what?
Like, what's something with
Mentally
that color?
depressed.
You just trapped
I
yourself
don't-
in a room.
Trying to
Get
think
her
of
under.
something specific.
No, I think
I-
we need a record.
I don't know. It's just a color that I just associate with gross.
Okay.
I also associated that
Wait,
color
what's
with
that lever?
I think my least favorite is yellow. I know my least favorite is yellow.
Metallic yellow is
Yeah.
good though.
Yellow's bad. Yellow's always bad.
No, there's
Metallic
certain, there's
yellow is
certain yellows that are fine, but
Like gold. Gold is good.
gold's okay,
No,
yeah.
they- you're right.
But it's like that I don't know, like
I know
the
just-
skin of a lemon kind of yellow, you know?
Yeah, no, that's
Like the big old cat
Lemon
bulldozer
skin.
machine.
speaking of lemons, why is it that I
Lemons are
like
so
pretty much any citrus fruit is fine except for lemon.
Because lemons are just bad for everyone's health, physically and mentally.
I think people forget that
No.
plants developed that to be a defense mechanism, and humans were like,
Mhm.
"Hey, yo, I got an idea." It's just lemon is just better at it than most.
Tasty.
I guess, yeah. I do think that's funny though, is like
Mm.
things like mint and cocoa and
everything's mint now.
Mhm.
like peppers and stuff, they all like made these like toxins to keep themselves alive, and humans like I like
Like-
Okay.
Everyone
Yeah.
else said, that is scrumptious.
Which
Yeah,
it doesn't make
weird.
sense because if you taste bad,
If you just
and people stop eating you, no more seeds.
Wow. Hang on.
That's true, because like they don't. We are the reason they spread.
That's just a natural selection move right there. You gotta think steps
That is-
ahead. I guess your thinking capacity is oh so low when you're literally eating sun.
Me
Power
eating
of the
sun.
sun.
Me
the palm
eating
of my
sun.
hands.
Thinking
Me-
about literally nothing.
Me
Peter.
filled of chlorophyll.
Peter the horse is here.
That guy over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's another thing. Family Guy jokes are stupid.
Can we avoid talking about Family Guy in this podcast? I think I'd rather sacrifice something.
Fair enough. That's all that needs to be said. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything funny about that show, even?
No, there isn't.
Harmon boy, you laugh at Family Guy jokes. What's so funny about them?
It just
He
like
has
it's
nothing
so
to say.
stupid. It's so stupidly funny. The Peter the horse is here is an iconic moment.
No, it's
society.
not.
I'm gonna let you two fight on that.
Yes, we're not going to fight on it because it's okay to have differing opinions.
Well, there goes the easy content.
It's okay for you to have the wrong opinion.
It's okay for
It's
you to
okay
have
for
the
you to
wrong
have your own
opinion.
opinion.
He's your favorite guy.
And who's your favorite? Eli, who's your favorite person of all time and why? There you go. There's
Favorite
something we can
person
debate
of all
about for the next hour.
time. My
Favorite
dad.
person of all time.
And why isn't Mike Richardson? Shout out to Mike Richardson, the
So I
greatest.
don't
Mike
know
Richardson.
Mike Richardson.
That's my dad.
Oh, never mind. I do know Mike Richardson. Then.
Shout out
I
to
don't
my-
know Mike Richardson. I like Mike Richardson.
Shout out to my dad.
Shout out to Eli. Shout out to Mike Richardson, who Eli just said he hates
I never
on
said
stream.
what.
Dad, if you're watching
I
this,
said-
Eli hates you.
You said I don't like him. I don't know him.
I'm kidding.
I didn't say I don't like.
I
him.
apologize, Eli. I just completely made you a horrible person. But
Yeah,
you're Mike
you're-
Richardson.
I will not stand for this blasphemy. I said I don't know him because I didn't know that that's what his name was.
Yep. That's his name. That's what he goes by. That's his government name. Well, it's not his government name, but that's what he goes by. You see, it's funny because he got his... Like, everyone calls him Mike. Technically, his name is Michael. But everyone just calls him...
Michael.
Yeah, everyone
Leave me
calls
here.
him Mike.
Michael.
And I
Yeah,
tried to do the same thing with my name. I tried to get everyone to call me JD, and there were a lot of folks in Athens who call me that because that's what I asked them to call me.
Sounds
But I
good,
can't-
JD.
I can't get that trend anymore. Now I asked Chandler, I was like, "Yo, you want to start up the JD trend with me?" He's like, "Sure." And he called me JD twice, and then never called me that again.
Well, I feel like for me it's just harder because I've known you so long. If you'd introduced yourself as JD, I would have called you JD.
If I introduced
Well, you see,
myself
the
to you, we wouldn't have been friends because it was Logan who made us be friends.
Also, here's the thing. I know a JD
No, you don't.
already.
Get out of town.
No, I do. I go to church with JD.
Yeah.
I go to church with JD.
Yeah, his real name is Jackson.
I think it actually is, but I've never known him as that.
Call me
He was
JD
a
anyways.
child.
I don't
He's
care.
pretty cool. Shout out to JD from church. You know who you are.
He's not listening to
And you're
this.
probably not-
Ain't no way he's listening to this. That's something I always wonder is
Okay.
people who do stumble upon my channel and decide to watch my content. I'm thankful, right? I'm grateful, but also, why are they still here? Some of them come
How did you
back,
get
and that's
here?
what baffles me the most.
Why are you here?
Yeah, to those who just randomly stumbled on Jackson's podcast, why?
Yeah, for those of you who watch my unedited VODs, thanks, but like, why? Some of those VODs are impossibly long, and I don't know.
Shout out to Jackson's unedited VODs that you're watching right now,
I'm too
live
lazy.
on
I need to start editing.
TV. Jackson doesn't edit, which is why some of the videos are unedited.
Well, I had
You're
to edit a
welcome for that,
couple
love.
of. There's a couple of them that are edited. Mainly our Doki Doki ones because YouTube does not like DDLC content anymore.
Yeah, well, we don't.
I
don't have
wonder
to worry
why.
about that anymore. We're done with
Yeah.
it now. It's all over.
That makes me
Or if
sad.
you're
Dude, whenever Team Salvato release more games, we're gonna be playing those on stream.
I
Obviously.
agree, Jackson. Speaking of games to play on stream, we should play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
I'd rather not.
It's so fun.
No.
You know what else is fun? SCP-7400.
Yeah,
SCP for a second.
I told Chandler about a meme, and he looked it up, and apparently it's an SCP. Which I
Yeah.
didn't actually know. I just knew it as the meme.
Your Honor, League of Legends.
Death.
Cyrus is here, so now I'm a sleepy sleep.
No!
Yeah,
Don't leave me!
I must
Okay.
leave you.
Well, shout out to Eli. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me here.
Of course.
I'm very tired. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Like,
And
Oh,
that
we
was
do.
just
Favorite
two.
there's
Favorite
just two.
SCP?
Favorite SCP of all time.
I don't know.
Yeah, but-
I'm a big fan. Conceptually, I'm a big fan of 049. I just love him.
Yeah, that's a good SCP.
Yeah. Or what is it? 3008. That one's also great.
Also a good one. What about SCP-2?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which one that is.
I don't really know what it is either. I just thought I'd mention it and see if
I know what 001 is, but I don't know what 002
Your
is.
Honor, objection. Mario can be bowling.
Mario can be balling. Hang on, I'm gonna look that up. SCP-002. SCP-002.
Do it. And what
oh!
you do,
Is this the
read
black
us a
hole?
section about it. Is it the black hole?
Resembles a tumor's fleshy growth of volume with a volume of roughly. Oh no, this is the flesh ball. Iron valve hatch on one side leads to the interior, which appears to be a standard low-rent apartment of modest size. One wall of the room possesses a singular window. Through such opening is the this is the ball of meat with an apartment building in it.
Your Honor, objection. That's what I'm going to say forever now.
Don't
I'm just
say
going
it
to randomly walk
forever,
into your house
please.
and say objection. To what? I don't know what I'm objecting. That's all I've learned from playing lawyer games. If you just yell objection, you'll most likely win your case.
That's no, my friend. No.
Hey, have I ever lost a case in real life?
Have you ever
I
been to
rest
a
my
case in
case.
real life? I
That's
rest
not
my
important.
case.
Hey, I didn't come here questioning your legality ability.
Well, you thought about it.
I did not come here questioning you as a lawyer.
Why not?
I only asked the same for you.
You should have. You should
I
have
don't know. I
questioned.
didn't feel like
You should have
it
questioned
wasn't
my.
really a question.
You should
Well,
have
that
questioned
question is
everything.
You're such a reliable lawyer.
I'm not even a lawyer.
I
Why
feel
do
like
people
I'm a
become
lawyer.
lawyers? Any lawyers watching this video?
There's one answer to that.
Why do you become a lawyer?
I feel like it's the answer. That's the answer to every question
Why not?
about the profession. Money.
Oh,
It all
well,
comes down to money.
I mean, yeah.
I
Let's
mean,
be honest, though.
it's
It's kind of funny, going to fill out job interviews and they're like, so, what made you want to take this job? It's like, you pay well. I mean, that's the only reason people sign up for jobs, right?
I suppose.
I don't like. I mean,
I mean,
especially people who are still in high school looking for part times. It's like, why are you wanting to work here? It's like, well, my dream job is to serve people at a McDonald's window. That is not anyone's dream job. And if it is,
Well, maybe
more
it's
power to
weird,
you
yeah.
because you don't have to, get a degree in anything to work that job.
Imagine if they eventually required you to have a degree in fast food.
Bro,
That'd be kind of funny.
nobody would work.
Well, it'd make people get different jobs, and then the fast food industry would collapse overnight.
How did you decide on journalist, Chandler? I'm kind of curious about that, actually.
I was kind of there one day, and I said, you know what? Mom thinks it's cool, so it's got to be cool. And then I was like, okay, I'm a journalist now. And then I got a job there, and I work there to this day. Oh,
You
no.
do.
Now I'm a professional journalist.
Than the first one.
Journalers. Wouldn't it be
I
just
am for
journalist?
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
Shout out to anyone working those like really hard jobs, you know, like trash
Uh,
collecting and like
Climb the window.
plumbers and stuff.
They climb the window. Yeah. Shout out to plumbers.
Shout
They
out to
actually make
plumbers.
very good pay. Actually, people
They do.
hate on plumbing as a career profession, but it's actually one of the highest paying like non-degree fields you can go
You get
into.
to work around Dookie the whole day. Also, I feel like that's a good way to get sick. But I mean,
I have no doubt.
yeah.
I have no doubt.
Also, to couple of people who might be hearing Harmon Boy say something unrelated to anything we're talking about at sporadic random moments, he's half paying attention because he's playing Evil Within with Hope.
Evil Within.
Yeah,
I'm determined to finish it tonight. That's the thing.
being his girlfriend. Wait, can you put Hope on mic so I can ask her some podcast questions?
I can't. She's in the middle of a workbook.
Bruh.
What?
So she's not actually playing
She
Evil
said,
Within.
would you like to answer 5 questions? No, I'm playing Evil Within. She's watching while also doing her workbook. Shout out to Hope being a radiologist. But yeah, she's dying on the inside right now. So
She's
that's okay.
she's working to be a doctor of some kind.
Not a doctor, a rad tech.
Surgeon, bro. Straight
Yeah,
up cutting people open and
Yeah,
fixing their
All
innards.
during church. You know who you are.
I used to sleep during church all the time.
Oh no, everyone as a child, everyone slept during
Like,
church.
even
Like,
when I was like an age where I should.
hey man, everyone slept so good during church though. Let's be
Like,
honest.
let
No.
me sleep all the time.
Oh, I used to sleep so good.
No, go back up.
Jackson,
Is that ours?
yeah. Jackson, what are your thoughts on falling asleep during church? What was the oldest age you fell asleep during church?
The oldest age I fell asleep?
During church.
I don't know, dude. I mean, insomnia kind of kicked in around like 12. So it'd have to be younger
So
than
probably
that.
around.
But even then, I was a hyper little weasel as a kid, so I don't think I really ever. I guess I don't know. I think my mom would know better on that than I would.
Let's bring Mary herself on the podcast next week and ask her how many times she fell asleep during church.
She's been on the podcast, my guy.
She's on the podcast right now.
No,
Oh. How's that
I
sound,
should
Jackson?
I should
Does
do
she have
that
a
one
podcast?
day. I should have one of my family members just sit in the room with me when I record.
What's that?
It was a home destroyed and fired. The same article from earlier. I forgot to grab it.
I probably
Shout
who
out
would-
to Mary herself,
yeah, shout out to my mom for
the great
existing.
mother of Jackson. Jackson's own flesh and blood,
No, that's backwards.
kinfolk, as they say,
Kinfolk.
his relatives. Shout out to anyone related to Jackson.
No, not anyone.
Shout out to the people related to Jackson who he doesn't hate.
Shout out
It's only gonna be
to
bad.
anyone with the last name Harmon that can get to places on time. I just don't know if it's possible.
Color
Blue.
that exists.
Pink. Give me pink. I don't
Okay,
know.
grab one of those
Okay.
colors.
I
'cause
took
none
a
of
shot
them
at the
exist.
lad
We're
and
gonna
he's
go-
too busy
Hey.
gaming.
No, I heard you said that, but no, there is no Harmon that's on time. It comes with being a Harmon.
Downside of being a upside of being a Harmon, you have nearly endless food capacity. You don't hate people.
Actually,
it's not possible.
Oh, that's not
Um,
true. That one does Harmon.
I mean, you can hate people, but it's like you don't like harbor that hate into a emotion. You just kind of like, even like if you're the most mad I've ever seen Harmon, he is still not even that mad. Like I've woken up angrier than Harmon has, like after like the most tragic event has happened to him.
Mhm.
I feel like
Well-
you could like lose your job and it's all because Randy over here said something that got you in trouble, and he comes over and he starts provoking you about it, and you would still be less mad than me who dropped my drink on the floor.
That's honestly probably true.
Shout out to your disturbingly tamed anger.
There's only one time. Merriman, Hope sees me in many different emotions. She's only ever seen me truly, genuinely mad one time, and I won't go into detail about that one time, because there's no point to bring it back up. Don't bring it up. He can hear you. Don't bring it up. No, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Yes, it is when that one thing happened.
That one time.
That one time, yeah. She knows. She knows. You probably know too.
I might. Tell me off camera, because there's a couple things that come to mind, but I don't know. Actually, wait, never mind. I won't talk about that on camera. I was gonna say something, and I don't think it should be said.
I want to pick that one. Which one do you want?
Oh, well, any good secrets you're keeping?
Plenty. Everyone has secrets.
Everyone's got a secret.
It's just part of life, you know?
Yep. Here's a question. If you were in a Mr. Beast challenge, right? And he would give you $1,000 for every secret you told him, how many secrets do you think you could tell?
I don't have many. Well, alright, here's my question. Hypothetical for you. How are we defining a secret in this case?
Things
a secret as in no one knows or one or two people know?
Things that have been described as a secret, right?
Okay, well then yeah, I have quite a few of those.
Like how you and Courtney go hunting for polar bears every January.
Oh man, you were supposed to tell anyone about hunting polar bears.
Sorry, dude. Look, you've just got to level the population sometimes.
I told you.
I jest, but things like that.
Think about how many secrets I've told you.
That is true, but they're still technically a secret because you don't want me.
You a challenge for.
I guess that's the thing is,
told him. How many secrets could you tell?
Even given that, you don't. Oh, excuse me. Even given that, you don't really have a lot of secrets.
I really don't. I'm very open.
There's what, 3 or 4 that come to mind?
Yeah. The question is, does that have to be secrets I know about others, or does that have to be my own secrets?
It can be secrets you know about others, because those are still technically secret. If he were to ask me, tell me a secret, I could be like, well, Chandler, I could do, something like that.
Right, and that counts.
Yeah. Or I can be like, Nick,
yeah.
I can say things like that, and
right, and that counts as a secret. So yeah, if that's being counted, I have quite a few because obviously, I have plenty of secrets that other people have told me.
Right.
That's my thing. I don't have a lot of secrets myself, but I have a lot of secrets from other people.
I'm like that too.
Obviously,
I have my own stuff, but I'm like the bank when it comes to secrets, right? Because a lot of people, for some reason, feel the need to tell me their secrets.
Yeah.
And then I have all this forbidden knowledge, and I can put people in jail, bro.
You could put people in jail.
I have evidence on some folk.
You do. You're collecting evidence, I hear.
Mm-hmm. Man, can you imagine doing detective work? I actually don't know if I'd be able to do it.
Open the cake. Well.
Yeah, I think you can make a decent detective. It just requires you to sell your soul for a little bit.
Well, the big thing is I suck at lying. Is my problem.
That's true.
Like you can tell every time we've played Among Us, like I
Yeah,
get mentally backed into corners.
you have a bad poker face, is your thing.
Well, it's not a bad
Yeah.
poker face. It's more just I'm bad at coming up with believable excuses.
Yeah.
I can hold
Yeah,
back a laugh. I have people that barely know me that will tell you that I can hold back a laugh.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's not really necessarily your fault.
Well, no, it really is. I mean, if it is entirely my fault. I just have to learn how to lie, and boom.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, not like I
That's
need
true.
to, but
I mean, to each their own. Some people are better at lying than others.
yeah.
You know.
Who's the best liar you
I
know?
was- well, I mean, technically, I wouldn't know who the best liar is because if they're the best liar, then I wouldn't know they're lying. So
Here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
I found out this little trick, right? If you just
Right.
if you're bad at lying, it's not really a trick, it's more just a pattern. If you're bad at lying, you are amazing at picking up when others are lying.
well, true.
There have been a few times where I'll be talking to someone, right? And they'll just like I'll say something and then they lie. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I'm collecting dirt all the time, bro. I am the not excavate. What do they call people that level mounds and stuff?
Excavators.
Is it excavator? Oh man. Okay, I was right. But not like the machine, like the profession. Is it still excavator?
Yeah.
That's wild. Can you imagine being excavator certified?
Imagine Mitch will be like,
Mitchell
I
be
am
like,
excavator.
shout out to Mitchell. Mitchell, if you're watching this, how on earth did
Excavator.
you find my channel?
I am a surgeon.
I am a surgeon. That's him. Except with excavating. He is the excavator. He is the one who excavates.
Chandler, have you ever told anyone about the channel?
I'm not. I should do that.
No, it's okay. My mom.
Well, I'll tell Logan first thing in the morning about it. How about that?
Tell who?
Logan. I see Logan in the morning. I'll be like, Logan, have you ever watched Mine Jackson's channel? And by Mine Jackson, I mean Jackson.
I feel like Logan already. Well, maybe he doesn't know. I feel like you would have to, right? Because I mean, I've told him that I do a podcast, but I
That's
don't.
true. Have you ever invited him on the podcast?
No.
Understandable.
Maybe I should one day though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's understandable, Harmon boy.
Well, because I don't think podcast is really his thing.
Oh, I see.
I don't think I've ever known Logan to watch podcasts. Maybe he is. If Logan, if you're a podcast person, sorry for assuming.
Logan,
Hope listen to your podcast.
what?
Hope's a podcast person.
Hope's a podcast person. Hope, listen to our podcast more often.
She has listened to our podcast. She also listened to Camden and Brian's podcast sometimes.
I did.
But only episode 1.
Are they actually doing the podcast now?
They used to. They haven't done it in a while.
Is it Real Talks Real Sus, or is this a different one?
No, that's mine and Brian's. It was the one before that. It was called, what was theirs called?
It doesn't matter.
Oh!
No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Shout out to the podcast by them. I don't quite particularly remember the name, but shout out to it.
No shout out to it.
Hey man, podcast people gotta shout out podcast people. It's the
I'll
rules.
shout out podcast people so long as the said podcast person isn't racist towards me.
That's true. He is kind of racist, isn't he?
That's why I shout out the
But
Unusual
can't-
Podcast, because they're not racist. Shout out to the Unusual Podcast? Unusable Podcast. Josiah,
bear in mind,
Gabe,
Canada-
Seth, when am I going to be on your podcast?
You wanna be on my podcast, Jack? You can be on my podcast.
Do you have a podcast? I mean, apart from this one,
Real talk, real sauce. Real talk, real sauce. Or
That doesn't
me and
even-
Brian Gazelle.
that doesn't even have an episode.
Not yet. Would you like to be in the first one?
I don't know. It depends on Brian.
The rule is simple. Me and Brian give you a story, and you got to repeat it back to us to the best of the ability. But we constantly gaslight you.
What? Okay. I feel
and
like Brian wouldn't want me on his podcast. I have a feeling he doesn't like me all that much.
I think it's because you're not a particular race he likes.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
Well, I mean, I've told you his deal.
I mean, you've told me his deal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let's give our podcast. Actually, can we talk about that?
What?
The C&B, City.
No.
No.
Not.
Okay, we can't talk about that then. Never mind. Also, I just realized what I said is probably not gamer.
That's okay.
That's okay. If you know, you know. If you don't know, bless your soul.
Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul.
So,
Things like never
next week,
before.
I will be at Harmon Boy's house for a while, and that's
pretty
going to be an
lovely.
interesting experience.
Yeah, if you never hear from me again, it's because me and Jackson hated each other after the event. Meeting at my house.
Well, it's funny because Chandler told me, he's been telling me that he is very excited for me to come over to his house for 3 days. And I just told him earlier, I told him, Harmon Boy, you have not been around me for 3 days. Because I tend to go from that guy to that guy. It doesn't take me long. My social battery is already not very good. I've got like an Apple II iPod level of
That's okay.
social battery.
You know what? But that's okay, because you are a surgeon.
No, I'm not a sturgeon, Chandler.
I am a sturgeon. Have you seen that one?
You're a fish?
Have you seen that where? Yeah, have you not seen that one where someone like edited him as a fish?
I probably have.
I'm sure you probably have. You're
We
doing
talked
the
about
opera.
this. We talked about this last night on the podcast. Chandler, if you could relate to one animal, what would it be? I guess that wasn't the question. The
probably-
question is, what was your favorite animal? What was your least favorite animal?
I've always been partial to red pandas, as you know.
For your favorite?
Yeah,
Okay, what about your least favorite?
probably a salmon. And it's not because they're very tasty. They're just very lame creatures.
that was a curveball. My granddad said armadillo, and that like threw Eli for a loop. But I think
love
salmon is a new weird one for me.
I love salmon. I hate salmon. I love eating salmon, but I hate the creature salmon.
That
They're
was
just
more
so
than a
useless.
curveball. That was a boomerang, bro. You're throwing
I
something.
can't even make my mind up. Oh,
I don't know what you're trying to say.
But I'm depressed, I guess.
How does that relate to salmon, bro?
Because salmon are depressing creatures. They just live their life in fancy rich people's plates. Or not rich people, I guess, because I eat it a lot.
It's just people.
Middle class people. They're
I
middle class
mean,
people.
that's kind of just what chickens do if you think about it.
That's true, but chickens are not useless because they give us eggs.
Pig.
Pig give us different types of meat.
Okay. I mean, I guess. But also, they don't really do anything else. They can give you,
They
they can give you
I guess that's true.
cholesterol issues.
Hey, there you go. But I've never looked at a pig and thought they're the worst creature I've ever seen.
I mean, you can get like fish oil, I guess.
But salmon are useless.
Okay. You know what? Fine. I'm not gonna argue with this. I just think it's silly.
Hey man, in the time you know me, whenever I not said something silly at least once.
There's been a few times.
Exactly.
We're all a bit goofy from time to time to time to time to time.
Time.
Yep.
Tea time.
Tea time?
Mm-hmm.
Tea time. Chandler, what kind of
Maybe
tea
I-
do you like? Are you one of those Omega Southerners that will only drink sweet tea, or will you get like those like
I
flavored
drink,
teas at like cafes?
I actually like will. I make my own too.
Oh,
I drink.
nice.
I'm a connoisseur of tea. Um, personally, I like jasmine tea. That's my go-to. Um, there's also like the sleep blend I have too. Sometimes I drink that's very soothing. So I guess it really just depends.
You like
Thank
green
you.
tea?
I do like green tea.
Green tea is slept on, dude.
It is slept on. You're
It's
right.
actually really good, and it's good for you.
That is what they say, isn't it?
If you're not drinking green tea, go drink green tea. It'll change your life.
Will it?
Yes. Speaking of drinks, speaking of like tea, that brings up coffee. I want to talk about that for a little bit. There are some people in this world that have the most convoluted order of coffee just memorized, burned into their brain. And I
For
don't
instance.
I know Courtney does. And Courtney, when I think of like coffee getters, I think of Courtney and her like it's like a presidential
Vanilla tea,
speech.
iced latte mocha with a hint of something.
I know, and it just sounds like Harry Potter speech. I can't memorize any of it.
That
Oh.
was my Harry Potter quote.
I do you do that, Chandler? Do you have like a coffee order memorized?
No, I just say, hey, I want this. And they go, I. And they go, yep. And that's it.
Alrighty.
Kevin. He said,
Yep. I'm trying to think of last podcast because you weren't there. Favorite restaurant? We went over that.
the Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. All right. Noquila Taco Bell. Have you seen that ad?
Ooh, I have. Have
The
you
old
seen that
show.
they're doing an ad where they're talking about how Taco Tuesday's trademarked?
It's not trademarked.
It is, apparently, according to them.
No, it's not. It is.
They're
It's
battling.
not. It's not trademarked by Taco Bell.
It's not trademarked by them, but they keep talking about it. They're like, how dare Taco Tuesday be trademarked?
I know.
And it's LeBron James doing it too.
Why? Does he even play anymore?
He does, but he sucks.
I mean, isn't it? He's getting old. So I mean, like old, like too old to play. I think. How old is he? He's like
36.
36. I was gonna say 38.
Like I said, I've never cared for LeBron. A lot of people say he's better than Jordan, and those people who say that are wrong. But that's okay.
I hardly keep up with sports. I know the big names, and that's it. If even, I don't even know all the big names.
You know Michael Jordan, though.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he literally has his shoe named after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's Shaq.
Right.
Shaquille. And then Kobe Bryant, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of all the basketball players I know.
Right.
And like you got like Michael Bay and
I mean, Kobe Bryant, honestly, what a legend.
yeah. I want to start doing this bit. For context, I am not a very current day individual, I guess. So I don't know a lot of like authors and stuff, or like songwriters, or like football players, basketball players, anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of those. So I think it's funny to just throw them all into one thing.
You
I
know,
just wonder,
personally, I'm a big.
is that football player Ed Sheeran from Jumanji? You know, like things like that.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Speaking of Jumanji, I hate The Rock. I don't know if we've talked about this a lot recently,
I
but
don't think
I
we
despise
have.
The
Why
Rock.
do you hate The Rock?
He's a very one-dimensional actor. He's not versatile at all. He's played one role his entire the entire 4 years, but everyone's like, "This guy's a great actor." I'm like, "No, he's
Yes.
really not."
I mean, you've got you've got silly goober Safari Man and then Black Adam, basically the same person.
No. My point is, like, there's no difference in personality for either character. They say at the base of it, they're just The Rock being this cocky dude who saves the day.
It's all the Samoan.
It's his
in him.
role. So,
Isn't there
Did you-
a stereotype that Samoans are just naturally angry people?
there is, but they're actually like some of the most peaceful people you'll know.
Okay.
It's
Do you
part
know
of
any
the-
Samoans
I don't know.
that I can meet that would prove that evidence?
Yes, my favorite quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, is he's Polynesian, and I think he's also part Samoan.
Have
Very
you
nice
met him
guy.
in person? Can you introduce me
I've
to
not-
him?
I've watched a lot of his interviews and stuff. He's a very nice guy, and he
Well,
donates to charity a lot.
I'm sure the fact that he's calm and not throwing desks over his shoulders in interviews is why he's a good person.
Well, I mean,
It's
My
not like
point
he'd
was,
get
though,
flamed on the internet if he did.
killing that.
Shout out to what's his name, by the way? Will Smith.
For slapping Chris Rock. That was iconic.
I've never seen anyone care less about their career.
No, but it was kind of funny though, for real.
It was iconic. I think that's a historical moment. Will it go down in the history books? No, but it will show up on like trivia games in like 150 years. Well, if
but here's the thing.
if humanity lasts that long.
Here's the thing. Going back to The Rock, you've heard about his contracts now that he makes companies sign, right? He makes demands out of the companies that he does movies for, including the fact that he is not allowed to lose any fights in any movie he's in ever. Which is why they couldn't put Shazam in Black Adam, because they wanted him to lose to Shazam in the end of the movie, and he was like, "No, that's not how my character works." And I was like, "That's kind of the opposite, actually."
He's got a bit of an ego on him.
Everything. Yeah, and I mean every actor does to a degree. I just think The Rock's is very prevalent in how he conducts himself.
Yeah. Who do you think is the most or the least egotistical actor?
Bill Gates. Oh, I think you were going to say celebrity. I jumped the gun. I think you're going to say least cocky celebrity, and I mean, in my opinion, overall, it's still Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, all right.
And the dude's already promised that when he dies, he's leaving all his money to charity, and he donates most of his money to charity every year too.
I mean, that's fair.
He's like probably like the only guy like that I can honestly say does good things with his money.
Oh, of course not. I mean, yeah.
But no,
actor-wise,
nicest actor. I think Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks seems like a nice guy.
Tom Hanks. All right.
What about you, Jackson? What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of give it. I don't know. I'd really have to think about it. Again, I also don't know a lot of actors. That's why I asked you, because I know you know everybody. I don't really know. I don't know enough about the actor's personal life, so I don't think I can make that call.
Right.
I'll say Tom Hanks because you seem to know what you're talking about.
Tom Hanks is a very nice guy. May he rest in peace. His career is kind of dwindling now, down to the end of it.
Well, he had a good run, though.
He had a good run. I mean, he's been around for 80,000 years.
Older than time.
Older than time itself.
He's older than time. That's why the Big Bang Theory is a thing.
Right.
Or who is it? It's Michael Bay, not Tom Hanks, that does all the explosion movies.
I don't like Michael Bay. Truthfully speaking, he's not very like.
Can you
great.
can you elaborate a bit?
I don't know. I've never cared for many Michael Bay movies.
I guess. I mean, can you imagine living in a Michael Bay world though? You just take 2 steps and then all of
Right.
a sudden explode for no reason.
That's the question, Jackson. Who's your favorite director?
Favorite director? I don't care. I really don't. I think George Lucas did an alright job.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. But George Lucas,
Okay.
I feel like he like really enjoyed he got involved in his work. Like to where he was technically on screen.
Right. The only my complaint was for such a great director, the prequels were somewhat mid. I mean, they're looking back now, they're not.
No, you're
They
wrong.
are
The
kinda-
prequels are the peak of Star Wars.
Episode 1 sucked.
Okay, I'll give you that. Episode 1 wasn't great. Episode 3 is the peak of Star Wars.
Episode 3 is the peak of Star Wars.
To all those who are over the age of 40, we're talking about episode 3, like the not the one with Luke in it. He's in the end, but I mean we're talking about like the third in chronological order, not in release order.
Yeah.
For release order, it'd be the 6th movie. That's kind of my issue with prequels is, especially the Star Wars ones when they changed it, because it was just Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 was New Hope, Empire, and Return. And then they released the prequels, and then they changed the New Hope. They changed the original trilogy into 4, 5, and 6.
Right. But it made sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they could have done something like FNAF, for example. Like, FNAF 2 came out, and that was a prequel, and that game, like, people know it as FNAF 2, the prequel.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Better yet, I guess they didn't have to number them.
Yeah. But it was such an ingenious way of doing it, though, because he started with episode 4, and everyone was like, okay, what happened in the other ones? Also, can we give him credit for the fact that he had scenes wrote down that he wanted to wait to have them made until the technology advanced? Like, man was ahead with the entire trilogy.
That's why I think he was a good director. Also,
yeah.
I love the idea that when you think about it, when you first like get introduced to Star Wars, like for those who first watched A New Hope, right? You're not given any context. Immediately, you are thrown into the middle of a battle. I find that unique because a lot of movies don't do that. Every movie has to have its origin story, or there has to be a reason.
A little interesting tidbit just now. Father Brent has a little trivia thing for you.
Okay.
He was actually enough to have gone and seen the original Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, in theaters.
Oh, nice.
Original unedited, yeah.
I think my parents watched 4 when it first came out, or at least my dad did. Maybe my mom did.
Yeah. And then when he was in college, they came out with the remake of those with the new. And then when Mom and Dad got married, they came out with Episode 1.
That's wild.
And for every milestone, there was a Star Wars movie, I guess.
That's kind of funny.
Imagine.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I forget that George Lucas made American Graffiti.
Chandler, do you
it's another
okay
iconic movie. Did he direct the Indiana Jones too?
Steven Spielberg. Is that Spielberg got the Star Wars?
Oh, I see.
That's
Okay.
why in Indiana Jones you see people to carve the walls and that.
I see. I don't know. Go on, Jackson.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh no, I remember now. Do you ever use like certain dates like that, like to help you with like figuring out your schedule and stuff?
Sometimes.
I am guilty of doing that. I have a
Right.
couple of like release dates like just memorized, and I'm like, okay, this is that day, and that day is that day of the week, and that means that this day is this day. It's like, oh, it's this 4 days ahead of that day, which I know, you know.
Right. I mean, it helps.
Yeah,
It really helps.
I try and have like dates down, and I think that's helped me with some really weird things, because the other night you were asking how I memorized the Phasmophobia code for the room.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I can remember random sequences better than I can coherent things,
Right.
which is always so weird. I haven't really gone into like talk about this before, but for me everything is like black and white. There's no gray. If you ask me to remember, I can remember the most like garbled mess of like just the most random like series ever, right?
Yeah.
And I can remember the most like convoluted, complex, like hard to understand like ideas. But when it's like, when it comes to like actual everyday things, my memory is so mid.
Understandably, though.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like I have my old Wi-Fi password and old credit card info memorized.
Valid.
I have my current Wi-Fi password memorized. I don't know why, but like I can't remember a single sentence I said yesterday.
Understandable. I mean, that kind of makes sense.
It's weird.
It's interesting.
Is your memory
It doesn't
like
make
that?
it bad. Sometimes.
You know, Eli's memory isn't like that. Eli is very good at remembering conversation or like just dialogue in general.
Yeah, that's what makes him such a fascinating creature.
Okay.
One that requires further inspection, truly. Me and Eli are very tight sometimes.
Well,
we have one of those lovely relationships.
It really throws me off too, because I'll remember the date for something, but I can't remember what I need to do on that date.
Right. That
Although
makes sense.
it helps when I'm given the right date as well, because I still have the 20th burned in my head.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll do something special over like gaming or something on the 20th.
No,
maybe that's
won't.
the day that maybe you and Eli could like go over your characters. I guess it'd make more sense to make those all together, wouldn't it?
I mean, I'm just doing Quab.
That's true. The guinea pig riding celestial.
No, right, I forgot. We're making completely new ones because of that. That's right.
Yeah.
Lol, never mind.
Are you still going to be like the celestial deity that rides a guinea pig?
Yeah, because I thought it'd be funny.
Who
I
also
wanted to ride a rat.
God that they encountered. Yeah.
No, I wanted to
I'll
be
tell
a
you what.
rat.
I'll modify it a little bit. You can let it. I'll let it be a rat. I'm not going to stop you
I
from
don't see
riding
what
a
the
giant
difference
rat.
would be.
Truly, I mean, if there's already a giant hamster, I mean, they're both rodents, so who's to say there's not
the only
others,
difference
you know?
between a rat and a guinea pig is viscosity, let's be honest.
Opinion. Public opinion, too.
And that.
Because
and
rats
survivability. If I put a rat in the wild, I have a lot more faith in it surviving than if I put a guinea pig in the wild.
Right, but let's be honest, though, if it wasn't for the fact that they spread major diseases in the early 13th century, they probably wouldn't be as hated as they are today.
Maybe. I mean, they're not like the most calm creature either.
Right, but I mean, they aren't like terrible like creatures. Like people say, "Oh, rats are awful." They're not bad. They really aren't.
Rats.
They are. I've always wanted a rat. It comes down to a lot of people's hold up is the tail, but I don't mind it as much. It's not that bad.
The tail
It's like
that
possums. I think possums are very adorable. I don't know what your thoughts on possums are, but I've always liked possums.
I'm indifferent about possums. I mean, they're fine.
But they never do anything bad. Courtney, you're still alive?
Is that Courtney? No way.
Yeah, she said she couldn't sleep, so that's who's that.
Can you put her on the mic? I want to ask her at least 2 questions.
She's gone. Courtney, you want to be? Can you come here
Oh.
for Jackson? Exactly 2 questions. Oh, she said yes. Never mind.
Oh, epic.
You have to put in the AirPods. They're part of the rules of the podcast.
Special guest.
Jackson. Okay, you know what? Here, I'll put it on speaker. Okay. Yeah, I put too much effort into that. You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, Corgi.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you're on the podcast. You want to say anything? That's cool. I have 2 questions for you. First question: what's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Right now, red.
Chartreuse.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Red.
Red? All right.
Rojo.
No, it was red.
Rojo.
All right.
Red.
Second
Rojo
question.
is red.
Second question, Corgi. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
That Kylie Jenner is the reason for the Mandela effect.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
I've heard a couple things about that one. Thank you, Corgi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. That was special guest Corgi. We're gonna have her on an actual episode at some point. I plan on it.
I've been waiting for somebody to ask me.
Courtney said she's been waiting for someone to ask her that question.
Her favorite
You know,
conspiracy
Courtney,
theory?
I got a podcast to answer that question in a few weeks. What? Well, you had to do research, Courtney. How's Jackson ever gonna sleep at night knowing that there's a conspiracy theory about Kylie Jenner?
I mean,
You have the answer to, but you said you don't.
I knew of that conspiracy theory already.
Okay, never mind.
That's not news to me. I mean, the fact that it's her favorite is news. I'm gonna write that down in my weirdo journal of learning all facts about all people. I do have a disturbing amount of journals. I do have a disturbing amount of journals, actually.
Speaking of journals, though, do you remember that one journal?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking over at my bookshelf. I see there's like 14 lined up, and about 8 of them are completely filled.
Did you ever find that one journal?
I mean, I found it, and then I lost it again, like when we moved.
I want to see it. I've never seen it.
I need to find
that
it.
That bugs me.
I'll find it at some point.
I just look at it once. Just once.
Just once. It'd be funny.
I don't care what you do with it after I look at it once. I just need to look at it at least once in my life.
I'm gonna sell it if and when I get famous.
If and when you get famous, you're going to sell all your fanfics.
Yeah, why not, dude?
Funny.
That'd be funny.
Why wait till you're famous? Sell it to someone you know.
Now, sell it on Craigslist, bro.
My fanfics. Honestly, it would be probably the most normal thing ever sold on Craigslist.
Mildly used notebook.
What's so funny, Doug, is you could sell it as my list of fanfics, and it probably would be the funniest and most normal thing on there at this point.
Honestly, Craigslist. Can we talk about Craigslist?
It's such a bizarre place.
Such an odd location.
But in the best way possible sometimes, but also the worst in others.
You can buy a car on there for $2,000, and you can also buy a single breakable white lawn chair for the same price.
Do you remember that guy who sold his soul on Craigslist?
Yeah, for like, how much was it? It wasn't that much.
$5.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. Oh, speaking of weird sites, have you ever been to Fiverr before?
I don't know. Is that where you like pay people to do things?
Yeah. That might be a strange thing we do.
I've seen videos of people using Fiverr. I've never gone myself.
Okay.
Have you gone to Cameo? That's kind of like, it's similar to it, but it's actually with celebrities.
I haven't.
They'll like record like any like audio message within reason, obviously.
Oh boy.
That you pay them to. No, Jackson, believe me, you do not want to go there. It's very expensive.
Chandler, you're giving me power.
Yeah. You're gonna go to Cameo?
No, of course not.
I was about to say that site is very expensive.
But the fact that I can now get celebrities to say what I need them to say.
There's actually very few like very big deal people on there.
Okay. I mean, still.
Probably the biggest one on there. I know uh, is you can get Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
That's kind of niche.
It is very niche.
I mean that
you
I guess that's lame. I can live without cameo, I guess.
There's other cool ones on there. Have you ever watched the series Psych?
No.
Oh, well, then never mind. You would notice that one.
I love Chandler, you have yet to pick up. If you ask me, have you watched? The answer is almost definitely no.
True. There's cool. There's more like niche celebrities on there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not like your like superstar creators are on there.
Yeah. Can I get Neil deGrasse Tyson to say poggers?
Actually, hold on. Let me check that.
That would be my goal. If I just want one like celebrity that everyone knows at least a little bit to say poggers.
Neil. No, you can't do Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Unfortunate.
But you can hire Neo, the famous singer of Yeah.
I don't know what either of those are.
Who else, Jackson?
I can't talk about that. Never mind. Speaking of can't talk, I think it's about time we stop. Because it is
probably
very late.
Yeah, me a little bit.
Yeah, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching.
Jackson, you can get Lando Calrissian.
No.
Is that good enough?
Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're listening to this on YouTube, like, comment, do all generic YouTube stuff. This is Words of Wisdom.
Maybe one day
we'll
pay someone to do the intro that's a celebrity just for memes.
We'll
see.
No. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.